Here's a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone who smokes.
Are we on the air? I'm your host, Sean Wilsey, and for over 30 years I hosted shows on cable shopping networks, generating hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and now I want to be your guide into this world, explaining how it works, why it works, what doesn't work, and introduce you to the people who are making it the success that it is today. Listen, a holiday show, I guess, of sorts, unofficially, since as we record this, and the date is going to come into play here in just a moment. It's December 4th, 2022. And it is the day in which QVC, as their today's special value, has an Apple iPad. And, of course, that was one of our big topics last show, was about the negative sell. And how do they recover now? Because I warned a month ago, listen, be careful what you say, because you're putting down the iPad, and now you're going to have to sell the damn thing. And how do you handle that after you pretty much told people, yeah, don't waste your money. Yeah, buying an iPad? Yeah, you don't need to. Yeah, $90. You get the Kindle and you're good. So we'll see how they handle it. And I'm actually fairly impressed with that. A lot of things to go over actually today. Got a lot of audio to play. And of course, I guess one of the biggest topics. It's fun now that we've been doing this a while because I can get listener reaction to some of the topics that we bring up. And, you know, I'm going to talk about ShopHQ in a little bit, and because they released their quarterly numbers, and there's no point. I really decided that because this is a show that's about the industry, how it works, why it works, what doesn't work, blah blah blah, and it's just we're falling into this, this broken record, this rinse repeat, sales suck. It's just so there's no point in dwelling on it much anymore, unless there's something that really ties in with that. It's just I'm bored talking about it all the time. Although those shows get the most listens. It is funny because I can see how many downloads and listens various shows get. And in fact, my Christmas show last year, which I thought was one of the best I did, where I went over Christmas commercials from years past, no one's listened to that. No one cares. That show is sitting there wasting bandwidth and no one's listening. In fact, the start of this show was a little reward for those of you that listened to that last show. So, then we're going to explain any more than that. Where was I going with this thought? I'm so focused on we got things to do here. But no, the sales and how they're down, so there's no point in bringing it up. But one of the things, I am going to talk with ShopHQ in a little bit, that I've had people ask me over the past couple weeks since it was announced, what do I think about QVC getting into the Christmas movie scene? Have you heard about this? For those that haven't, I don't even know where to begin. This is an honest-to-goodness, who saw that coming moment. And I'm not being sarcastic. I did not see this coming. I did not know this was happening. I'm a little embarrassed that this was kept so far under wraps, which, honestly, now that I've had a chance to process this, doesn't surprise me. I'm not so sure this is the kind of thing that they would want the investment community with their stock where it is right now. And irony of irony, I don't have my iPad near me, so I can't check where their stock. Well, I got my computer here, where their stock most recently closed. Because when you release something like this, if QVC, Qrate, again, their parent company, I just simplify it and say QVC. If they were to have announced, hey, we're doing a Christmas movie this year, and we're going to release a Christmas movie, I don't think that the stock market would have responded kindly to that for reasons I'll explain in a second. Qrate stock right now is, again, as we record this, $2.34 a share. It is up from its all-time low. It had gone under $2 on November 9th, $1.64, which was literally an all-time low. So, again, not great when you compare it to iMedia stock. It's a home run, though. iMedia, 58 cents a share as we record this. So, the companies are not performing. So had QVC come out and said, we're going to do a Christmas movie, the investment community probably would have said, you are nuts, and would have bailed even more than they have. Reason I say that is because I watch a lot of CNBC and Bloomberg in the morning when I'm getting ready for work. And they talk a lot about what's going on with Warner Brothers, Discovery. They've merged now, Warner Media, and their stock is in trouble because they have a streaming service they're going to launch next year. And there's too many streaming services. It's people are cost conscious. They're cutting streaming services, and so it's a really bad time to be announcing that you're going to get into the streaming game. And I hope this is a one-off for their sake. In fact, I am, if I wasn't sitting at a console here, I would be on bended knees begging Qurate to make this a one-off and never do this again. The fact they hired someone from Amazon streaming makes me a little nervous because now, again, I should have maybe seen this coming. Put two and two together here, we'll see. Are they going to now use her because she is quoted in their release about this movie? Let me just read this. She is the president of streaming for QVC and HS and parent company Qurate Group. It's a charming story. And we've learned that as our audiences spend more time with us and our hosts, we want to bring them into the world of holidays organically, inorganically, in all the ways they choose to be with us. For those that wonder what I'm talking about, QVC has released its first ever movie. It's a holiday-themed movie called Holly and the Hot Chocolate. Okay. Sweet enough concept. I will go to my grave having never watched this movie. I can just about guarantee that. It is streaming on the free platform QVC Plus, so I got to give them credit for that. If you want to see the movie, you've got to get that app. And I've said many times, their app is really good. They have a great app. Of all the apps out there for the television shopping networks, theirs is far and away the best. There's not even a close second. But now to start putting movies on there. The cost of producing a movie. Now, again, QVC didn't just open up the back part of Studio Park, their facility in Pennsylvania, and start shooting movies. This was done by a production company. It is called, was it Neighborhood Films or something like that? Of course, now I can't find it. But it is a production company, a company that makes movies. Well, they've made two. They made this and one other movie ever. And so, but at least, and it was also a made-for-TV movie. And so this production company produced this for them. Now, that wasn't cheap, and I'm sure that they cut every corner they could. I cannot find, and I've got some good resources at my disposal here, what it cost to shoot the movie. I can't find anything about where it was shot. I'm assuming Canada. Most of these things are done in Canada to save money. But I could be wrong, but there's honestly very little out there about this. It's kind of weird, actually. But it's a movie about it is formulaic. It really is. It's so cliche to talk about the formula for Hallmark Channel movies, and, it's been posted on Facebook 50 million times, the 4 columns, and pick one from A, from B, from C, from D, and you have a Hallmark Channel Christmas movie. But it really is formulaic. This is about a big city food critic who unexpectedly finds herself stuck in a small town. I should just have you know what? Here, where's Orson? Okay. Anytime there's something cliche, Orson is going to speak up. So it's about a big city food critic who unexpectedly finds herself stuck in a small town of Pine Falls during Christmas. She is surrounded by locals who love the season as much as she does. Holly soon learns at the center of their holiday spirit is a special hot chocolate recipe sold in the town square. With the help of a charming, albeit humbuggish tow truck driver, yeah, there's about 3 right there, Holly gets to experience firsthand why Pine Falls is one of the best Christmas towns in America and what makes their hot chocolate so magical. Okay, thank you, Orson. It is cut from the formula of holiday movies. It's just embarrassing. Again, I don't mean to be harsh. It's probably very good. I like it. I will never watch it. The idea apparently came from David Venable, who does their cooking shows. He makes a cameo appearance in it. Holly and the Hot Chocolate is a hot chocolate vendor. And, of course, this being a QVC production wouldn't be complete without a product tie-in, which is coming courtesy of famed New York City dessert shop Serendipity. Venable will appear on air selling the special hot chocolate featured in the movie, a concoction made in partnership with Serendipity, while telling behind-the-scenes stories from production and showing off movie props from the set. Interesting idea. It's not a bad idea. I don't see it bringing new people to QVC, though, and that's the whole point of why you would shoot the movie, to bring new people to QVC. How are people going to find the movie? Well, it's on the QVC app. So the QVC customers probably already have the app, and they're going to be able to know about the movies. You're not really bringing in new customers. I haven't seen any marketing or advertising on TV or any place for this. So without marketing to reach the outside customer, I look at it like I look at contests. I've told every boss I've ever had, contests are the biggest waste of time for cable shopping networks. A contest is had to bring in new names, new customers, and contests fail every time. There has never been one successful contest in bringing in new names to any TV shopping network because they don't market them outside of their viewers already on the network. So it's pointless. But so I guess in a way I kind of look at this as the same thing. And as someone who, again, full disclosure, I own stock in QVC. I've talked about that before. I hope that it doesn't cost them too much money and that maybe they can make a return on this investment. But that's a big investment, and so it's unless they have some sort of reason behind it that I don't know about. For shooting this that they haven't disclosed, then maybe that's possible. But I mentioned that it is, we'll get to ShopHQ in just a little bit, but it is December 4th, and QVC today has as their today's special value the Apple iPad. Go back to the last episode, we talked about the Kindle and how the Fire tablet, they negative sold, and as a host you don't negative sell because now you have to turn around and come back and recover from that because they basically told people, hey, don't waste your money on an iPad because you can't upgrade the memory, and so with this you can. And I gotta give this is Sean. She launched it last night. Sean Kellinger, is that her last name? I never hear the hosts give their full names anymore, which, they used to always. You introduce yourself. They don't do that anymore. But anyway, and so she was launching this, and so this is from just a bit of audio from the launch. I honestly can't even play the whole thing because the first 8 minutes are setting it up. It takes 8 minutes to actually learning about the product, because of the way they have to have so many color choices. And she starts off with literally just 90 seconds of how her family all owns iPads. So again, if you bought you bought that Fire thing that I had last month, our family doesn't own any of those, but we all own iPads. And she talked at length about how everyone in the family uses their iPads. So let's pick it up 90 seconds in.
Louvre, like Victoria and Albert in London, on her iPad. The iPad is the gold standard. I'm pretty sure, just putting it out there, if you ask anybody when it comes to tablets, if they can afford it, it's on their wish list. If they can self-purchase and indulge in it, they want the iPad before any other brand.
I'm going to stop there because I have to give her some credit here because Sean is dancing around it and tackling it really well without mentioning specifically a Kindle or any other brand. She's just kind of grouping all the tablets together. She says, hey, this is the gold standard, and this is what people want. If I could afford, I posted on my Instagram the other day a picture of a $500,000 automobile. Believe me, I'd love to own one of those. I can't afford it. So, I have my little, my Sonata, and I love it. But yeah, if I could afford the $500,000 automobile. So she's kind of saying, this is the $500,000 automobile. This is the gold standards. I really have no issue with that.
This is our last tablet TSV of the year from Mac and Apple. Here we go. It's the Gen 9, and it is so intuitive if you're not...
I have to start skipping ahead because, again, this is 8 minutes of just setting up the item and what it is. So I'm going to jump to about the 3-minute mark now.
In a little bit, our guest is going to share with you this cool analogy.
Again, a guest still to come. We got more setup yet here, friends, though. So, just get comfortable. Go get a coffee or something because the guest won't be out here for a while.
But essentially, if you bought a desk, would you need a single drawer for all of your pens and your files or do you need like 7 drawers and more cubbies? Okay, if you're just the single drawer person, get the 64 gigabytes. You'll be good to go. You probably won't max it out for a while on the photos and downloading the movies and all of the songs and everything you're going to do on it. But if I'm honest, the largest internal memory hard drive that we offer at QVC is the Platinum Series 256. You are never worrying. They are never on. You're giving it to them as a gift, worrying about maxing it out with photos and songs and movies and then some.
So there you just negated the whole problem of the, hey, you can upgrade the memory on this $100 tablet by buying the 256 gigabyte. And I did like her analogy of the drawers. That again, anytime you can put an analogy, put some sort of an image into someone's head, that's good selling. That honestly is good selling. When you can, because we all, as she was saying that, I guarantee everybody at home, you were picturing it, weren't you? You were picturing your desk. You were picturing your drawers. We all need more space. And so it's a great, she's doing a good job on this. And again, it's an Apple iPad, so to a point it sells itself. But, you know, that took some good setup there. I'm fast forwarding again because we're 5 minutes in. And now we have to go over the choices.
Accessories bundle. This is basically the Mac Daddy iPad TSV I think we've ever brought you. But you do have to choose because what we have is what we have. And by the time
these, by the way, are colors for the cases that you're going to have. Because obviously the actual iPads only come in a few choices. But this is QVC, so we got to have an S-load of choices.
Into midday and sunrise.
And an S-load of inventory
not have all this.
that we pay
the
taxes on after 90 days.
will be half as long. Right here. This is wine marble. Wine marble is brand new. And what I'm showing you is the other accessory that you're getting that I didn't mention. Not just the neoprene, zippered, closed, handled carry case.
I'm just going to bring down the audio and just talk over it. Again, it's because they throw in so much stuff.
This is
so
brand new wine marble.
It's hard to comparison shop with retail.
Swirl. Moving down, Galaxy Marble, taking you through the prints first. And all of these, we have more prints today than we've ever had in an iPad
you certainly
TSV.
do.
Retro. I dig it. I dig it. It's like California Venice Beach stripes, like super cool and fun. Then, someone may want to fix that later, pink camo. Teenagers, college
The pink camo, by the way, looks like the wine. They're almost
awesome.
identical.
iCat. Okay, now iCat comes with a gray neoprene case. As I take you down to the white and the silver choice, they come with this
Whatever happened to
cool
keep it
black
simple,
houndstooth
stupid?
neoprene case. Gold. These are all the solids, black and then blue. As I said, blue is on fire. None of these do we have any more
Get an
of.
extinguisher.
Call us,
Okay, I'm just going to drop the because we're still almost 7 minutes in, and there hasn't been a single feature benefit brought out. There has not been a single mention other than the hard drive capacity. So the guest is coming out now.
So we'll be in bed at night watching TV.
Oh, well, we don't need to go there. No, she's talking about her husband and how he'll watch TV and keep his iPad on, and if something comes up and a documentary he's watching, he'll just start searching online for it. So, again, 7 minutes in, enough of that. It's 17 minutes into the show already, and we still have more to do. But no, they do a fine job setting it up. They really do. And at no point, do they say that the Kindle stinks, the Kindle sucks. Or not that they would, or at least allude to it. It's just, I have to give them credit where credit is due. But again, it's an Apple. It's an iPad. Again, sells itself. So marketing around the holidays. Tying in, I was going to work this next bit of audio into. We still have ShopHQ to talk about too, don't we? Let me do that first. ShopHQ. What is there anymore to even say? Yeah, it's the key takeaway. Again, they finally sold their property, they sold their buildings, and so they got some money from that. Sales are ridiculously bad. But we got an answer to something I posed last spring. I said, what the hell ever happened to Shaquille O'Neal? They did that train wreck of a remote, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, Shaq has vanished. And I made the comment about checking milk cartons, which, again, nobody has done in 30 years, but you used to have pictures of missing people on milk cartons. Well, in their call to investors, we get the answer, and here it is from their CEO himself. Back in early 2020, we felt Shaq's products would be a perfect fit for our audience. However, rather than force a fit that was just not there, we felt an amicable parting was best for both sides. I have nothing but absolutely great things to say about Shaq and his team. We wish him the best. Here's the fun part. In conjunction with this contract termination, we incurred a one-time non-cash charge of $10 million. So basically, Shaq got $10 million to go away. I can't even really find that funny anymore. When I was working in Minneapolis, I saw that happen numerous times with celebrities. They bring in celebrities with great fanfare, and not to say I saw this coming with Shaquille O'Neal, but I saw this coming with Shaquille O'Neal. And they pay the celebrities to go away. I got the chance in early 2000 to work with Robin Leach, one of the nicest guys in the world, by the way. He used to do the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous TV show. And we did a bunch of things together. He became a good friend, and I was very sad when he passed away a few years ago. He nicest guy. You know, he was. If I was in Vegas, we got together, and just because that's where he lived, and just really, my only real celebrity friend that I've ever had. But they cut him a very large check to go away because he wasn't helping the network when they were rebranding as Shop NBC. So, paid him a lot of money to go away, and we kept in touch. And nice guy. Anyway. So I wasn't surprised that they've done that with Shaquille O'Neal now. So I guess really it's the only thing I want to talk about with that takeaway. It's just it's otherwise sales stink. Sales are down and their stock reflects that. But no, a couple other pieces of audio I want to play here since we are into the holiday season. And I was going to say for a show that we're doing, if not next one, the one after, about marketing towards kids, because that whole thing with the Ding Dong School and Miss Francis that I played on the last show reminded me about how the laws have come into effect marketing towards kids. People ask me, how come you don't sell jewelry for children? Well, a lot of reasons. One, liability. Jewelry for kids, are choke hazards from the word go, so no one wants to take that on. And I've never second-guessed that once. It's like, no, you don't want to do anything like that. Well, on television, it used to be there was no kind of line of delineation or demarcation between when the show ended and the commercial started, which confused kids. And audio I'll play when we do the full show of Miss Francis there segueing from her doing something with the children right into a Wheaties commercial. And there was no, hey, we're about to go into a commercial now, kids. It's just, you want to eat Wheaties for breakfast, don't you? And you have terrible parents if they don't get you Wheaties for breakfast. I'm paraphrasing. But the point is, and in the 70s is really when the law started to change. Even the 60s, on the Flintstones, I think everybody's seen the cigarette commercial. Well, Welch's Grape Juice became their sponsor after the cigarettes company went away. And it was very vague sometimes, the commercial versus the TV show. That changed in the 70s. Well, in the 80s, we still hadn't learned everything that we needed to learn about marketing towards children, towards little children, that especially around Christmas, that, might be interested in a conversation with Santa Claus, perhaps.
The big ones go in the red boxes, and the little ones go in the green boxes. Got that?
Yes, Santa.
And don't forget to feed my reindeer. Hello, boys and girls. Getting ready for Christmas sure is hard work. But now that I have a moment to spare, I set up my special Christmas phone just for you. So get your parents' permission and call 1-900-909-4300.
I like how he's saying it even at a pace that children can make note of this phone number. He's saying it slow and methodically, isn't he? 900 numbers, right? They're the ones, charge per minute to when you call those. Those aren't told. That's, you pay money per minute. He did say get your parents' permission first, but, well, just keep listening.
Hear all about Santa's wonderful...
Let me back up a second. So what happens when I call? There has to be a special place in hell for the people that came up with this idea.
00. To hear all about Santa's wonderful, magical Christmas time.
Kids, call Santa's special phone at 1-900-909.
Kids, call Santa's special phone. What kid isn't going to want to do that? Oh, my Lord. I'm going to get to talk to Santa on his special phone.
1-900-909-4300 to hear Santa's magical Christmas message and find out how you can get a real letter from Santa Claus and a special present, too. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional. Ask Mom or Dad.
Yeah. By that point, the kids have punched out. They're reaching for the phone. But that was like 1980 money. It was $2 something a minute. What would it be today? $5 a minute, probably? No, probably more than that, actually. Oh, my Lord. So, Merry Christmas, kids. I wonder if that phone number still works. I'm not going to call it and find out. But, so again, the whole idea of marketing towards children, that's where we were. And, eventually law started to come into place. And I'll go into this whole thing when we do the 900 number show, because it is interesting how the marketing towards children has changed. But that's wild. Well, thank goodness that was a one-off, and we learned our lesson, and nothing like that ever happened again. So, whoa.
Santa here. Call 1-900-660-6666, and I'll tell you a different Christmas.
What number? Let's hear that phone number again. I think there were a lot of sixes in that number.
Call 1-900-660-6666, and I'll tell you a different Christmas story every day. But before you
so now we're going to get the kids to call every day. So now it's not just a one-off. You're going to get a new story every day. This, by the way, is 1987, so my point is, no, we never learned.
Listen to old Santa. Your parents have to pay for these calls, so get their permission first.
Sure.
Then, when you call me, I'll tell you how to get a whoopee from my Christmas collection. And part of your...
Get a what? A whoopee? There are these little, if you were around in the 80s, you remember them, little fuzzy things about the size of a big marshmallow, fuzzy looking with googly eyes.
I'll tell you how to get a whoopee from my Christmas collection. And part of your $1.85 2-minute call goes to Special Olympics. So call me at
I'd love to know what part of that money goes to charity.
1-900-660-6666. Merry Christmas!
By the way, there was fine print on there that no announcer ever went over, so let me just read the fine print to you. Excuse me. $1.85 for a 2-minute call, which is $1.50 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute. So it's not a 2-minute call. You know that he's probably going to talk very slowly like this. So that 2 minutes will be gone very quickly. And before you know it, Mom and Dad are paying for a 20-minute call. Just my guess how that worked, just based on the way that those marketings, the whole idea of those 900 numbers went. Anyway, more on that later. And it's a holiday season here, and so I do thank you for once again following the show. I know we're not doing as many as we used to, and it's a sign of the times. I do have a new profession, which I'm not at liberty to talk a ton about, not to make myself the topic of the show here, but again, it's not inside of the world that this show is a part of, but I'm loving it, and so thank you for everybody that is wondering what's going on in my world. But no, we will continue here, and go back and check out those old episodes, including the one last year, my Christmas theme show. That was actually a really, really, really good one. I enjoyed it anyways. Find me online, all the traditional social media. Just search my name, Shawn Wilsie, ShawnWilsie, Wilsie on Instagram is the way to find me there. And of course, we have a new Facebook page now devoted to Are We on the Air? Thank you for downloading this episode. This has been a King Bobby production.
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.